these girls are a dime a dozen, right? Most likely they're gonna like you just off the strength that you have been playing professional sports. They can smell the money. Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos, and welcome to another episode of He Rants. I'm your host, Felix Long Trousers. Man, check this out, man. If this is the first time on He Rants, I just want to let you know I'm just a random guy who just likes to talk about random stuff that interests me, and I just feel like I need to inform you guys about it. If that sounds sexy or attractive to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as with the post notification. That way you'll always be one of the first people to hear the voice of Long Trousers. And at the same time, leave a like, because I'm so damn insecure, and those likes definitely let me know I'm doing a stand-up job. Same time, you gotta buy the merch. Mofo, been offering females orgasms because we're so humble. Link in the description box below. But let's not waste no more time, man. We gotta get into this story. We're talking about this guy, LaMelo Ball, man. You guys know LaMelo Ball, man. The youngest of the Ball brothers, the whole Ball brother organization, big baller brand, the boys. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, out of all three of the brothers, obviously, I think he's the best one. Number 3 overall pick by the Charlotte Hornets and everything, right? And he's definitely doing his thing before he got injured, right? Definitely doing his big time things, making big time moves. That's why I have to respect LeVar Ball, man. LeVar Ball put his kids up there and set them up for success. He was able to get all three of them into the NBA. Granted, the second son, LiAngelo, right, the middle child, he's kind of forgotten in the mix because I think right now he's playing for the G League. But he got into the NBA. He played for the Pistons for a short period of time. I think it was like 2 weeks. But he was in the NBA. He could tell hoes, like, listen, I was in the NBA. You know, I used to play in the league, right? He could say that. He could say that regardless. I don't care if it was 2 weeks. I don't care if you get signed for a freaking 1-day contract or you got signed and then hours later you got cut. It doesn't matter. You were in the league, son. So that could definitely increase your bitch count exponentially, son. I feel like that's what's important. The reason why I'm talking about LaMelo Ball, right, is because of recently there's been some rumors that he might be mixing juices with a young lady by the name of Teanna Trump, right? And let me not even do that, right? Because you guys already know who Teanna Trump is at this point. If you guys have been following my page, you guys know I know these actresses' names. I know their occupations. I know how they get down, how they do what they do and stuff, right? So Teanna Trump, for those who don't know, shame on you, by the way, but I'm going to go into explaining who she is. She's a very somewhat attractive young lady, right? That is an adult actress, also an Instagram star model, I guess. Instagram model sounds like an oxymoron, and you be an Instagram model, son. You're just a girl on Instagram that takes a lot of pictures showing her booty and stuff. But in Teanna Trump's case, right, she's pretty known, right? A lot of people know who she is. To me, I think I release juices a lot using from her work. Her work is pretty decent. She's very strong, very eager to please. When you look at her work, right, she does what she needs to do, and I think that's why she's able to get the big bucks, the big calls. I think a lot of actors are calling for her to come to be on set and stuff, and that part that I said "come" means no pun intended. At the same time, I didn't do that on purpose, but I think it worked out pretty well the way my phrases are working out there, right? But she is, to me, though, overrated. The reason why you ask why she's overrated is because the chest area is not that large, right? But listen, I'm willing to look past the chest area, right? Because you can have a flat chest, right? You can honestly have a flat chest, and I think I feel like that's okay. So as long as the rumper back there is huge, right? So my phone going off. Is that my girl? Okay, now that I've told my girl that I'm doing important stuff right now, right? Let me go back to when I was going to explaining. So by her not having the rump, right? Because her rumper is not really that it doesn't protrude as much, right? And I feel like at that point, what are we looking at here, right? She's average looking in the face, right? At best, she's average at best. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. And the chest is not really protruding, and the booty is definitely not protruding. So what are we doing here? I think her strength is the fact that she is nasty. She is very nasty. Like I said, she's willing to please. Definitely willing to please. Definitely willing to take juices anywhere upon her body, right? Without hesitation. Some girls, they act like they don't want it, but she's willing to take it everywhere, right? So that's why I said she's an eager person, right? And I feel like she doesn't give up on the job. You have to commend that. You definitely have to commend that. But at the same time, you have to still give her, you still have to drop down points. Like I said, the body needs to be there, right? Especially from people that have paved the way for her. The greats like Capri Styles, Roxy Reynolds, Cherokee Cherokee. You guys all know Cherokee at this point. Cherokee, she has her flaws too, because her butt, even though it being very large, it's somewhat very watery. You kind of want a little bit more stiffness to it. Other than that, I don't want to feel like if I'm smashing a waterbed. Right, that's what I feel like when I see Cherokee. They ask, would I hit? Obviously, I would still hit, just off the strength, just to be able to say I did. But I still feel like Teanna Trump, she's lacking in that, right? But like I said, she brings the nastiness. Nastiness is really there. Well, like I said, other women are kind of hesitant, right? Which leads me to believe that's why this guy LaMelo Ball might have caught a liking to her, right? Because apparently she has been to a few of the Hornets games, right? She's been at a few Hornets games, just cheering on and everything. And keep in mind, we're socially distancing, so they're not allowed to bring in a lot of people. So if she's able to go in there, that means somebody is definitely getting in the guts. And hey, LaMelo Ball, do your thing. At the same time, I have to say this, right? If he is in the guts, right? If he's really smashing, because they also saw him at Trampoline World, right? And some people might say, oh, this guy's in Trampoline World, he's supposed to be rehabbing. Listen, man, he broke his wrist, right? So he's out for a few weeks now, right? So at this point, it's time to start releasing juices to as many hoes as possible. Now you're officially in the league, you have more free time, you don't have to practice as much. It's time to smash as many hoes as you can, right? And the thing is, the reason why he has to smash as many hoes is because by him messing his wrist up, right? If he was to try to calm himself down by spanking the weasel himself, it would be a little bit hard, because I'm pretty sure you need your wrist. The wrist plays a huge role when it's time to play with the weasel and everything, right? But now that he has a girl that can help him do that, even though I've said before, when it comes to the hand jobs, women are not really that good at it, right? No matter how nasty they are, they're not really able to accomplish the deed as much, because like I said before, for those of you guys who follow my Instagram, I've said this many times, women, us men, we've had many years of practice when it comes to spanking down there and everything, and a lot of women don't have as much experience as we do. So when they do it, they usually use a lot of aggression, a lot of force, no lubrication, and they believe they can do whatever with it as they please, right? They believe that it's not going to be ripped off, right? Because a lot of them tug on it like it's a game of tug of war. A lot of them are pulling on it like they're trying to take a key out of the ignition of a car and everything, and run into the grocery store real quick to buy some stuff and come back in, right? It doesn't work that way. But hey, I digress, right? But what was I saying? Pretty much, I'm getting lost in thought right here. But the whole thing with him and her, right? I think that's the reason why, right? He needs something to release the juice. He's a young guy. He's 19. Testosterone is high. Hoes is coming in right now. The hoes are fishing for the new up and coming guy, right? LaMelo Ball, he's hot right now. Everybody knows he's hot right now. A lot of eyes is on this guy. He's making the Charlotte Hornets very, very relevant, right? And listen, the streets, right? Because you knew I had to bring it up, because Teanna Trump is a part of the street coalition. I'm not gonna forget that. She's definitely a part of the streets. The streets have to make their moves, right? This is 2021, like I said before many times in my previous videos. This 2021 right now, right? So the streets are making their move. They're trying to find any sucker that they can find, right? You see a 19-year-old boy who has boatloads of money, right? He had money even before he got into the league, just off the strength of Lonzo Ball and the whole situation of him playing overseas in Australia and Lithuania and everything. He's been stacking his bag up and everything, right? Now the hoes are coming, and it's like the streets, they see him on the sidewalk, right? And the streets is like, listen, just take a step in here. Just, put your foot in here. We're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna bite. No cars are gonna run you over and everything, right? And guys like LaMelo probably see that and like, all right, man, it won't hurt. It's going to test drive. You know what I'm saying? It won't hurt. Just circle around the block. You know what I'm saying? Might go around the route and just come back. Just park it back, and then be on my way. But that's how you get trapped, right? Because it starts off as a little joyride, right? Just just go down the block, and you're like, let me go to the traffic light. Before you know it, you're driving down I-95, right? Driving down I-95, just heading down. Just keep driving. You don't have a map, you don't have a GPS, you're just driving, right? I hope it doesn't fall that way on LaMelo Ball, right? I like the kid, man. He's been playing pretty efficient, pretty well too. Like I said, he's probably the best out of all three brothers, right? Oh man, the crazy thing about it, I think LeVar Ball even told his sons, don't get distracted by females, right? See, that's why I say I respect LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball is a great father. LeVar Ball has told his children, like, listen, these girls are a dime a dozen, right? Most likely they're gonna like you just off the strength that you have been playing professional sports. They smell the money. They smell the money. The streets, they're out there calculating their moves and everything, right? And don't focus on them, right? Like I said before, the boy is 19 years old, right? He's probably in a little bit of rebel. He's been the man for God knows how long. I remember when he was playing for Chino Hills in high school and everything. He came in as a freshman, starting. Everybody already seeing him as the man. He's been a man for so damn long. Cole's been throwing all the viscosity, all the female fluids just drenching him, son. You might as well thought he just jumped into a pool. How much vaginal fluids is getting tossed his way, right? So at that point, it's kind of hard to listen to anything, right? Listen to your father, anything like that. So it's a lot of things, right? It's definitely a lot of things. But LeVar Ball, I think he's trying to set them on the right track. But even if he is smashing this young, right, it might just be a temporary smash, right? It might just be a temporary thing, right? He's seen the videos, right? He's like, now I have the capability of actually putting my peen in her vagina, right? And for him doing that, I feel like that's not that bad, right? But here's the problem: some guys put their peen in the vagina, and then they get trapped. And they get trapped because the vagina ends up being a whole lot moister, a lot wetter than they anticipated, right? Now it messes up your brain, right? See, the thing with me, because a lot of people say, oh, the vagina fluids don't matter. I can cut it off. Listen, man, to each their own. But I think it's very, very hard. Just like when you're very, very horny too at the same time, I feel like that's worse than beer goggles. I know everybody says when you're drunk and everything, you look at girls, oh man, even if a girl's not attractive, she looks a lot more attractive. For me, when I'm drunk, she was ugly before I was drunk, she was ugly after. But I'll tell you what, if I'm just randomly horny, those times when you're just randomly horny for no reason, right? Usually in the late nights, your mind doesn't think straight, right? That's why I don't understand the people who say stuff about semen retention. If you hold in your semen, you end up being more knowledgeable. You're intelligent. Your third eye is open. You're able to see things more clear. I don't know how that's possible, right? Because me, when I'm holding in the semen and I'm trying my hardest not to ejaculate, my mind is unclear. Girls that I know are very unattractive, I start making excuses for them. Start saying stuff like, well, I mean, the butter's not that bad. I mean, hey, her eye is just a little bit cocked, right? I start making excuses. Man, her titties her belly not sticking out too much. I mean, I think she alright. Like, if I smash it, will I feel too bad? See, it's stuff like that makes it dangerous, right? The guys who are going through semen retention, those guys are on a whole nother level, right? Those are the guys that I trust because they must be strong-willed. These guys can probably see into the future at this point, right? Because I can't do it. There's been many times that I've realized that, man, this girl looks very attractive. I go to the bathroom, hit the Cat Williams, ejaculate. Then I come back out. And, once you ejaculate, you feel relieved. You're just like, oh, whatever. You start looking at those girls, and you're like, what the hell was I thinking, right? I'm not sure if this guy LaMelo is just in that trance on a daily basis, or is he trapped into the viscosity of her vaginal area. We're not sure, man, but hopefully he's smart to not wife this girl up, because no one wants to wife up a porn star. Let's keep it a stack. Nobody wants to wife up a porn star. You're gonna look at her like she's cool because you're just like, man, this is gonna be fun, but at the same time, you're not like, I'm really gonna wife this joint up. Come on, self, really? But like I said, man, I don't think this is anything serious. I think this might be just something that he's just playing around with right now, right? Just having his fun, right? Like I said, man, he's injured. He's not able to practice as much anyway. So I mean, like, now it's time to smash as many hoes in the street coalition. Even though that's very dangerous at the same time. Like I said, the streets, they make their push, they make their move. So it's up to you. It's up to you. If you think you can withstand it, go ahead and mess with those girls. But if you can't, I say you stand down. But that's all I got to talk about, man. I know I rambled a lot about this, man, but this was really, really passionate to me because I'm seeing a young man making a very, very strange decision, right? Messing with a porn star girl. Granted, to each their own. You can do whatever you want, especially if you're strong-willed. But like I said before, the streets are moving. The streets are moving. Where are you going to be? Are you going to be at the stoplight? Or are you going to be back at your house, relaxing, making sure that you're not even trying to even check where the stoplights are? You're not trying to go to a stop sign. You're not trying to go anywhere. You're not trying to go to a roundabout or the highway, right? You're just chilling at home, working on yourself, right? working on yourself. But hey, you stay this long, make sure you subscribe. At the same time, hit the post notification. That way, you'll be one of the first people to hear the voice of Long Trousers. At the same time, if you like the video, share with your friends, your buddy, your loved ones, right? And at the same time, leave a like. Like I said, man, I'm so insecure. Those likes definitely let me know I'm doing a stand-up job. And at the same time, you gotta buy the merch. Mofo. Men offering females orgasms because we're so humble. Link in the description box below. But that's all I gotta say. Peace and blessings, you ugly mofos. And I'm out.